Hey guys, this is Bharadwaj with Fonearena.com and this is the video review of the Motorola Moto G, the latest budget smartphone from the company. The Moto G would be the first smartphone from Motorola to launch in India after almost 1.5 years after its successful Razr Max phone with a 3300 mAh battery. This offers pure Google experience just like the Moto X that launched in the US recently. But unlike the Moto X, the Moto G is available in a range of countries and would also launch in India early January 2014. The Moto G starts at $179, which is definitely great pricing based on the specifications. Will this be the best budget smartphone ever? Should you get the phone when it launches in India? Let's find out. The design of the Moto G is quite different from the Moto X. The 4.5-inch edge-to-edge display at a resolution of 1280 by 720 pixels at 329 ppi is bright, offers vibrant colors, has great viewing angles, and also has good sunlight legibility. It also has scratch-resistant Corning Gorilla Glass 3 protection. The display is glossy and is prone to fingerprints, and the build quality is questionable, mainly due to the cheap plastic back cover which attracts grease easily. But again, you can't expect much from a budget device. Motorola sells back covers and flip covers separately in a range of colors and also plans to sell grip shells for the phone in January in some of its launch countries. The front part of the phone has curved corners and the sides of the phone are also curved. The phone is 11.6mm on its thickest part and is just 6mm at its thinnest, making it easy to hold in a single hand. The phone weighs just 143 grams, by the way. There is an earpiece on top along with a 1.3-megapixel front-facing camera which can record videos at 720p HD resolution. There is a LED notification light next to it and it is just a white LED light, not multicolored. It also has the usual proximity and ambient light sensors. You don't have capacitive buttons for back, home and multitasking. Instead, you have to rely on the on-screen touch buttons. There is a chrome-colored power button on the right side. Below the power button is a volume rocker which also has the same chrome finish. On the bottom, there is a micro USB slot and a tiny microphone hole. And on the top, there is a 3.5mm audio jack along with a tiny secondary microphone hole. On the back, there is a 5-megapixel camera unit with autofocus and a chrome ring around it, and right below is a single LED flash. The camera UI is simple and is similar to the Moto X. You can slide from the left edge to toggle HDR, flash, touch to focus and set exposure, and even enable slow motion video. The image quality is strictly below average. HDR shots have nice colors, but it takes time to process and has shutter delay. Normal daylight and low light images lack details and colors. Macro shots too are a bit hard to capture since it takes time to focus. That also lacks details. Flash doesn't help in low light shots, so the output is just average overall. Again, we can't expect much since this is a budget phone. It can record videos at 720p HD resolution in the MP4 format, and since it has a secondary microphone, the audio is very crisp. Video is decent, but it does lack details and is underexposed in brightly lit conditions. It can also record slow motion videos once you enable the SLO mode. It takes videos at 720p HD resolution at 60 fps and reduces the frame rate to 1/4 from the original to 15 fps. The phone takes a single micro SIM card, but it lacks a micro SD card slot. The 2070 mAh lithium battery is not removable even though it has a removable back cover. Coming to the software part, the phone runs on Android 4.3 Jelly Bean, which is completely stock. Even though it doesn't run Android 4.4 yet, Motorola has promised to roll out an update in January, so by the time it launches in India, it might come with KitKat. Since the OS is completely stock, you can launch Google Now from anywhere by sliding up from the on-screen home button. You get the lock screen widgets and the option to open the camera directly from the lock screen. Out of 1GB of RAM, you have 882MB of usable RAM, out of which 290MB of RAM is free when the phone is idle. We have the 8GB version, and out of the 8GB of internal storage, you get 5.25GB of usable storage. Again, since the OS is stock, you don't get any unwanted apps like the old Motorola phones used to have. You get the usual set of Google apps and utility apps pre-installed. But there are some really cool Motorola apps. Moto Assist is one of the few additional apps present in the phone. It is very similar to the Smart Actions app that used to be in Moto Razr smartphones, but this has limited actions. You can set a particular time in the sleeping mode so that your phone switches to silent automatically when you're sleeping. Based on your calendar entries, the app will automatically learn that you're at a meeting and turns on the silent mode, and also auto replies to text messages. There's also the Motorola Migrate app that lets you migrate content from your old phone to your new Motorola G. And then we have the MotoCare app that lets you chat or talk to Motorola customer care executives. Just like stock Android, Google Play Music is the only app you have to play audio with. The phone can play a range of audio formats and the loudspeaker output is excellent. Motorola has added a FM receiver chip and has developed a separate FM app for the Moto G. The FM app's UI is clean and simple and it has RDS support. It lacks option to play FM radio through the internal speakers and it also lacks the recording option. Motorola says that the Moto G can play 720p videos at 30 fps, but it does support Full HD 1080p video playback in the stock video player, at least in the MP4 format. The Moto G is powered by a quad-core Snapdragon 400 MSM8226 ARM Cortex-A7 processor clocked at 1.2 GHz with Adreno 305 GPU. We did not experience any lags when multitasking thanks to the 1GB of RAM, which is sufficient to run a lot of apps in the background without slowing down. We did also try a lot of games, including some high-end games such as Nova 3, Dead Trigger 2, Shadowgun and Riptide GP2. The gameplay performance was good, but these games did lack details since it uses a mid-range Adreno 305 GPU and also took some time to load. The phone doesn't support Sony PS3 controller even though it has USB OTG support. Coming to the battery life, the 2070 mAh lithium-ion battery offers great battery life that you hardly see on budget smartphones. With 3G always on, it will last for 24 hours even with heavy use. For an average user, it lasts for 2 days with mixed usage, including a couple of hours of music playback, some image captures, an hour of video playback and some gaming. We have a battery saver option that saves battery by turning off the background data and Wi-Fi when the battery is low. At a price tag of $179 for the 8GB version, the Moto G is an ideal budget smartphone with pure Android for those who cannot afford the Nexus 5. Even though the company doesn't promise instant updates like the Nexus devices, Motorola would roll out future Android updates faster than other OEMs since it is owned by Google. And since the 8GB version has less internal memory, we recommend you to go for the 16GB version when it launches in India. So that's about it for our video review. Do check out our full review in our blog. The links are in the description below. We hope you enjoyed this video. Do hit the like button if you did and do hit the subscribe button for more reviews like these. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more videos. Let us know what you think in the comment section below.